and girls, children of all ages, people of all places. DOA Hitman here. Welcoming you back to NASCAR Heat 2. This is technically take 3. I didn't even realize to not bother with the title. I just wanted to stream. This is technically another attempt at the championship mode. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to redo this all together. We're going to start a new season. We're going to go all the way to the Cup Series. We are going to do... that's pretty much my dream thing right there for my fantasy dream if I was to see NASCAR. Daytona 500, Talladega, Daytona, Talladega, Daytona. Fuck it, we're doing that. And we are going to rock with... Or did I leave it upstairs? Son of a bitch. I was gonna say I was gonna rock with Gordon and have my good luck Gordon charm on my side, but I left it upstairs. Oh well. So we're gonna rock with instead my favorite driver of all time in the modern era, outside of Chase Elliott, is Kyle Busch, whether people hate him or not, and we're gonna rock with his hiccups. Where is it? Not Interstate. Is it this one? No, it was I think it was an M&M. It was a Skittles one. Maybe he doesn't have that paint I'm thinking of in this game. Unless it was this one and I just don't remember. I gotta see the back of the sponsorship thing, please, game. Oh yeah, that's right. He updated it to Circle K. It used to be Walmart was his sponsor on the tail end. But you know what? I'm kidding. I'm not rocking with... Oh, I'm stuck with Kyle. No. We're gonna reset that. I'm not rocking with Kyle Busch. I was making a joke. I know how much people hate on Kyle. I don't know why people hate on Kyle, but they like Kurt. But yet Kurt is just as bad sometimes. We're actually going to rock with... Where is he? Oh, maybe I skipped past him? Hold on. Yeah, right here. We're going to... No, actually... you know what? We're going to go with William Byron because he's got one of my favorite paint schemes in the game. That reminds me of like the classic Exalta car that Jeff Gordon would rock back in the day. And we're going to rock it with William Byron. He's one of my top 5 favorite drivers of all time. In order, it goes Gordon, Busch, Kyle specifically, Chase Elliott, Danica Patrick, and then Byron falls in there at the bottom. Nothing against Byron, it's just Danica's always got to be towards the top, but towards the bottom at the same time. Because I have respect for her. She was good for what she was. She wasn't the best driver, she wasn't the worst driver, she had some unfortunate luck. What are you gonna do? I'm waiting to make sure my tweet actually goes through, because I just tweeted this out. Ooh, there's 2 likes somehow, and I only liked it just a minute ago, so let me turn that down for me a little. And here we go. We're gonna put it in that camera angle right there. And if you heard that, they said dig, dig, dig. That's Jeff Gordon telling me to dig. He's my favorite driver of all time. Do I have respect for Dale Jr., Dale Sr., and people before them and after them? Yes. But Gordon was my first favorite driver to ever see race. Like, he was the first driver I ever seen. And that's why he's my favorite. He was my first one to follow. Just like with basketball, my favorite player of all time is Kobe Bryant. Not because I don't like KD, or I don't like Steph Curry, or I don't like LeBron, or anything like that. No. It's because I wouldn't have discovered basketball if I didn't discover Kobe Bryant playing. Much like I wouldn't have gained my love for basketball video games if I never discovered Paul Pierce and Rajon Rondo when they were with the Celtics back in 04 with NBA Live 05. So, and in terms of baseball, I originally started as a Red Sox fan, but then I discovered people like Pujols, Wainwright, Carpenter, who else is there? I'm trying to think of. I can't think of their name right now. Colton Wong. You know, those kinds of people. And then I became a Cardinals fan. And I've been a Cardinals fan since 2006-ish. prior to them winning the World Series, that's for sure. I didn't become like a fan right overnight when they won the World Series in '06. I had no idea they even won it. I'd been following the Red Sox before then, up until like '05. Was I excited to see the Red Sox win World Series in '07 and 2018 and stuff like that? You bet your ass I was. But I'm a Cardinals fan for reasons that I can't explain. It's my own being.
Go, go, go.
I'm a Thunder fan because I discovered the Thunder first when it came to basketball. I had no idea who the hell the Seattle Supersonics were until I started playing like 2K14, and then I said, alright, let me look this up. Who the hell are the Supersonics? Turns out it's the Thunder, but it was the original name they went by. So there's that. In terms of football, I'm always will be a Giants fan. I've been a Giants fan since, I want to say around the time Brady was starting, between like '04, but when he was his first like 3 or so years into the league, like '04, '05-ish. Basically any time before they won their first Super Bowl with Eli at the helm, defeating Brady and the Patriots. From like '04 till now, I've been a Giants fan. Because you gotta realize, being born in '96 makes it kind of hard to follow them prior to that, so you're never gonna know until you can actually understand things and develop a brain to understand shit. You're not gonna know what's going on until like 2002, 2003. Like that's how I became a wrestling fan, was in 2002. I discovered people like John Cena, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Batista, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, Christian, Edge, Lita, Trish. Who else was around at that time? Kurt Angle, of course. I mean, I wouldn't have even discovered Impact if it wasn't for Kurt Angle. Like, I watched Impact Wrestling because I had discovered Kurt Angle and Booker T had left WWE, and they're over there, and Christian's over there as Christian Cage. And I said, screw it, I'm gonna go check out Impact, and I did it again. But I was gonna say, I've watched Impact since like 2007. Basically sometime when WWE started going downhill slightly, in my opinion. Was like '08, '09. After they stopped pushing Jeff Hardy and they lost him. When I discovered Jeff Hardy went to a company called Impact, which at the time was TNA Impact. I said, what the hell is TNA Impact? Let me look this shit up. What's funny is, this is a true story. I was in health class in freshman year of high school when I finally started getting into Impact Wrestling. And I mentioned the name because the original company name was TNA, and no joke, the gym teacher, mind you, he and I have always been on good terms even after that. He and I have been on good terms afterwards and everything, because it was a misunderstanding. No joke, he mistook it for me thinking I was talking about women's breasts and booties. And when I explained to him it was the name of the company was TNA Impact, after the fact, when he learned that it was a wrestling company, I wasn't talking about breasts and badonkadonks. He was understanding and he apologized, and he's like, I'm sorry, I had no idea that company had that name, but you should probably be careful about saying that. And he looked out for me and I was like, okay, I will. But yeah, outside of like that one minor moment where a gym teacher who was teaching the health class at the time, because they had it set up like that in my school, outside of him literally just being upset because I said something that he didn't know was not intended that way, it was meant to be a company name of Total Nonstop Action. He misunderstood it and he apologized, and we had been cool after that. Believe it or not, I still keep in touch with at least 2 of the teachers I had over the school years, so. Alright, let's qualify with that, and we start first in the pole position. Fuck yeah. But anyway, outside of that, not much has really changed. I mean, I'm still a wrestling fan inside, mentally and physically. I mean, I'm always going to be a wrestling fan at heart. I'm always going to be a sports fan, period, at heart. The only sport I have to get back into is NASCAR, and then I have to I'm trying to get into like MLS, which is soccer, which is football to all the people outside of the US, and hockey, which is basically one of the more well-known sports that a lot of people I know knows. Like, for example, you got, what's funny is, even though I know nothing about hockey, I know quite a few teams. I know there's I think it's the Carolina Hurricanes, which was originally the Hartford Whalers. You've got the Chicago Blackhawks, the New Jersey Devils, the Boston Bruins, the New York Rangers. I swear there's like an Islander team, and I can't think of who they are. And then you got the Colorado Avalanche, which is Megadan 29's favorite team as far as I'm aware, it seems. Outside of that, I really don't follow hockey. I don't know much about it. I barely know the positions. I mean, I know there's a center, a left wing, a right wing, a goalie, of course. And then there's like maybe a couple other positions that help them. That's all I know. Now, if you told me, name every position in Quidditch from Harry Potter, I can name them all. You've got 2 beaters, a seeker, a chaser, and then you've just got basically just people that are there. Just play. Everybody is there. I think it's like a group of 5 players, and all they're doing is just trying to score and get the snitch at the end. If you get the snitch, whether the score is in your favor or not, you're gonna win the game if you have the most points at the end of it because of the snitch. Because the snitch is 150, every other one is 10 points or more, depending on how many times you score. Now football, I know more players on the Giants than I ever could have made. Let's see. On the Giants, you had Amari Toomer back in the day. You have Nate Solder. You had people like Eli. You had people like, well, you got Saquon nowadays. I swear there's a player named Yamin Yura. I can't think of his first name. I bet you if T-Belly was here right now, he'd be like, I know exactly who you're talking about, my brother. And he would tell me, but I can't remember. I actually don't know where it is right now. I have it somewhere. I have a 1996 NFL, New York Giants NFL team roster thing where it's got like all the head coach, whoever the head coach was, who the general manager was, who the owner or owners at the time was, who was in charge of the offensive line, for the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, their fullbacks, their cornerbacks, their quarterbacks, corner and quarter, 2 different things. You have the halfback, the fullback, the quarterback, the corners, the linebackers, which are all. You have the outside linebacker, the middle linebacker, the right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker. You have a center, of course. Then you have a punter, kicker. Then you have your bench that's replacements for each of those positions, respectively. And you always have 11 men on field. That I know. I mean, I even remember. Hell, I remember the days of the NFL when a fucking field goal or a safety in overtime would win you the game. Nowadays, it's, oh, you kick a field goal? Good. We'll take the ball back the other way, kick a field goal, and we'll keep it going. Or it could be, oh, you kicked a field goal? Good. We'll take it back for a touchdown. We're going to win the game that way. Good luck. It's not like in the NBA nowadays where, like, with the NBA, actually, I know it's changed a little bit. I think it used to be you would play 4 12-minute quarters, and then you'd play a full 12-minute or 6-minute overtime game per period, per score based on the number of times the scores are tied. So if the score is tied once, you go into OT. If the score is tied twice, you go into double OT. If it's scored again, you go into triple, and so on and so forth. While something like the MLB, it's literally you just go to extra innings, and you just keep going and going and going until somebody wins. So, for example, say it was the Cardinals versus Cards versus, I'm trying to think of an AEL team. For example, say it was the White Sox versus the Cardinals in the World Series. Who knows if that's ever going to happen again in the future, both their companies' things in my lifetime or somebody like Mega Man's lifetime, but it's possible. If all goes according to plan for each team, you know, that could, think of it hypothetically if that were to work out. And they were going to the best of 7, and it was Game 7, winner take all. Say the score is tied 10-10, bottom of the 9th, and it's the Cardinals at home for the home field advantage for the final game, and the White Sox pitcher, whoever it is at the time, strikes them out. Then they go into extra innings, and they go top of 11, bottom 11, top of 12, bottom 12, so on and so forth, until a team wins. I am curious to find out if there's ever been a time where a game has gone longer than like maybe a 15-inning stretch. Because I think 15 to 30 is the max I've ever seen it go for, and that's between majors and minors. And obviously I'm a true Cardinals fan if I can name all the different teams for each one. Now I can't remember the exact location name or which one associated with which. Well, I mean I can definitely name the 2 minor league teams and the major league team, obviously. The thing I don't know is which one they're considered. Like, I don't remember if Memphis Redbirds are the AA affiliated team, or if it's the Springfield Cardinals, I believe they're called, is the minor league team for AA. And I'm not sure who's watching right now with me. I'm just waiting for the chat to register. Because I just saw it show 2 people, so I don't know. I'll be keeping an eye out. Yep, there it goes. It's updated on the app. 2 people, whoever you is, if you're watching and you leave a comment, please let me know who you are so I can acknowledge you. In a minute, I'm gonna need me some Gatorades. Gatorade, 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 Gatorade. I'm actually considering playing some music in a minute. Literally the music that I know isn't copyrighted. So I just checked my email too, that's what I was doing before I started streaming. I said, I'm gonna check my email and see if I got any claims, strikes, or anything for using copyright music. I don't believe I did. I'm almost tempted to go on Twitter and tweet at one of the channels I use and be like, I hope it's okay I use your music, blah 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 blah, you know, I know it's parodies of other songs, but I hope that's okay. And if I know him, because he's really cool, he's actually been really cool, I think he will. I mean, I literally asked him, I told him, like I said, this is a true story, this was a joke statement. I said to him, I said, you know what would be a nice thing to see today, on a day like today? Mind you, I had like a slightly rough day at the time, so it would have been a miracle to see. I said, if I could just get a follow back, or just some sort of nice thing stated from, you know, like a retweet or something like that from Yugi Nuno, which is, his nickname is Yugi Jesus. You'd have to watch his channel to understand the joke. It's kind of like an inside thing. You have to watch the channel and be there to understand it. But I said as like a joke, I said, man, I would love to have Yugi Jesus either retweet a tweet of mine or follow me back on Twitter. Come to find out, shortly after, I go check my YouTube because I see a notification pop up saying that someone named Yugi Nuno had subscribed to my channel. I click on it to see if it's actually his or if it's like one of those fake channels, you know, where people use like a channel's name and likeness and play it off as though it's theirs, but they only have like 2 subs. So I checked it. I knew what his sub count was because I was subscribed to him. I would know if I was subscribed. I click on it. It's him. I literally at that moment just about dropped my phone in my dad's car and would have ended up stepping on it and not realizing I dropped it. That's how mind-boggled I was and shocked and caught off guard I was. Oh, who the fuck caused a yellow? Jack-offs. Damn, son. Well, here's what I'm gonna do real quick before we get started. And we're digging. I'm gonna really quick pause so I can adjust my audio a little bit. Oh, and I lowered it instead of raising it. There we go. So I can hear the game better. And who's behind me right now? That is Corey LaJoy behind me. Behind him is Ty Dillon was Ty Dillon, now Joey Logano behind him. Oh, now it's Ty Dillon and Joey Logano back to back. Austin Dillon's behind them. And I'm in first. Hoorah! Oh, son of a bitch! You know what? Oh, hell yeah, number 13. No! One number 13 to team with me. Nope. Guess what, number 10? Get out of here. That ought to slow Joey Logano down, especially. Oh, frick. You know what?
All clear.
The moment I get a chance, I'm going to come up inside and pass him on the inside. Come on. Come on. Woohoo! First place again.
Alright, clear outside.
Dun-dun. Actually, I'm going to try and push the car. I mean, as long as I don't get any more hits, what do you call it there? Any more, frickin' yellow flags, I'm going to try and push the car's speed with its gas all the way to the very end on no fuel. See if I can cross the finish line with no fuel and end up winning. And then I can maybe try and do a burnout after for fun. I just got to pray no more yellows are occurring right now when I don't need them. Because I got 34 laps of fuel. I believe there's going to be 35 laps left to go, 36 laps left to go. Something like that. I can't do the math right now. I just know you always got to add an extra number to it, so it's always going to be one more than the actual amount that you're going to do from simple math. Yep, 35 to go. I got 34 laps of fuel. if I can keep pushing, I might be able to do it. Unless they cause a yellow, then I'll have to pit just for the time being. Work way back up. I can't speak today. I'm just doing that because I'm trying to like view all the paint and see who's behind me, see how far behind they are. So I apologize. And I found out in NASCAR that as long as you don't go below the double yellow line, except when you're not passing anybody, like if you go down below it, but you go right back to your position. So say I'm in first, I'm right next to second place, I go down below the yellow line and then I shoot back up. As long as I'm not using it to pass anybody, when I'm trying to get in positions, it's 100% okay. It's the moment you use it to pass somebody in real NASCAR, you would get penalized with it and get sent back to where you were. Unless you're like say for example, I'm near the double yellow line. I got Corey LaJoy literally right next to my right side there by the wall, and I'm pushed to here in order to pass him because I have nowhere else to go. Because this person in third is pushing me down below the line in order to pass him, and then I come up and pass him. Then it's okay in NASCAR. Like that's their rule. You just can't use that to your advantage. Now in video games they don't give a shit apparently. They don't seem to abide by that legit rule in games for whatever reason. But in real life NASCAR that would be a big no. I got 32 laps of fuel, 33 laps remaining, and I'm gonna push it unless we get a flag. Unless we get a yellow flag, I'm just gonna push it to the finish. I gotta take this off my head for a second because my head is starting to throb. Alright, let me do something really quick. Share, copy link. Move to the background. Discord. And then... Let me see some things here. Let's see. And there's that. And I'm going to go over to this one. I'm just doing a couple of quick ones. I apologize. And then one more time over here. Alright, and I'm gonna go back to this, press that, go like this, go here, press there. Somehow actually I'm gonna have 3 viewers because I had 2 that were watching and lurking. And I was not one of them because it would have dropped to 1 before I came back. So I definitely have 2 solid viewers that are just watching and not chatting. For unknown reasons that I'm not going to question. Alright, let's see, what do we got? 31 laps of fuel, we're going to have 32 laps to go. I think we'll be able to push it a little bit. I'm going to even go drop in and get a half a can of fuel in the next go-around. As a precaution. So you know what? I don't care if I'm a little behind, I can easily come back from behind and pass if things go according to plan, if I can get enough distance. And I'll just drop in, grab a splash of fuel of sorts, shoot out, and pew, take it to the wing. I'm gonna get that W if I can help it. No cheese necessary. So let's do this. Also, I don't know why I'm doing ear-shattering S sounds, and I apologize, that is not normally me, so I have no idea.
Back down.
Okay, break. There we go. Alright. Give me a half a can of fuel, no tires, no repair. I don't even care if they pass me, I'm gonna come back and take the dub. No tires. Go, go, go. Let's go. Alright, 3.2 seconds for fueling. Good. That was quick.
All right, dig.
Oh, and I'm near dead last. Now I gotta really make it quicker. That's okay. Daniel Suarez, poor dude. He's down 9 laps compared to everybody. Including compared to me, apparently. Wow. I feel bad for you. Woo. Damn, son. Damn it, I got that stupid song in my head again. Son of a bitch. And I'd play it so you guys know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to get copyrighted. Especially if it is a copyrighted song. I'm gonna ask my Google Nest thing real quick, one little thing. Hey Google, when's the next Thunder game?
Right,
And whoops.
Clear high, bud. Outside.
Okay, today at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey Google, what's the record of the Blazers? Hey Google,
Going green.
what's the record of the Trailblazers? Ooh, that's a tough game. That's gonna be a tough game. Hey, it could be worse. We could be playing the #1 seed again. Just be glad my team ain't. Whew. That's a breather moment.
Still there.
There we go. Go down inside on Cole Custer. Go 3 wide. Go inside on Jimmy Johnson. Get on bumper to bumper.
Careful, still there.
Nice pass right there within the yellow lines.
Still there.
Down on Keselowski. JJ Redick, I believe. No, it's Tyler Reddick. Yep. I knew it would be one of the two. Do not even ask me how I can remember JJ and Tyler Reddick both being in there. Let me see something.
Careful,
Oh!
still there.
And that's what I get for having to look down for something, unpause, go. Oh, Jesus. Clint Moya. Ross Chastain.
Stay on the bottom.
That should be Christopher Bell. Yep. And that should be Kurt Busch. Yep. Kyle Busch in front of him. Denny Hamlin. John Hunter Nemechek.
Car
Yep.
outside now.
I know my driver's baby boy. It's kind of hard to go 3 wide though in these games because,
You got room.
you know.
You're clear.
And there's the Menards car being driven by Ryan Blaney. And there's Chase Elliott, who I was going to play as. Hey, Filippo, how you doing, Chico?
Inside.
Hope you're well. I apologize for not acknowledging you in the stream recently. I've been sidetracked very easily.
Careful, still there. That's the halfway mark.
We're at the halfway mark, and who was that? Somebody named Haley. That's all I know is their last name's Haley. There's Chase Elliott pushing William Byron up, trying to move him up a little bit. Trying to draft with me. I think he's my teammate. Like I said, I've just been having so much going on my brain as of late that I just haven't even really paid attention to other people with the way I intend to, like I normally do. And I never intend to be that way to anybody.
Still there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Justin Haley, Eric Amarola, BJ McLeod. And I appreciate that you're super understanding, Filippo. You're a cool dude. Or dude I would not want to assume gender because for all I know it could be like a girlfriend or wife watching instead of you. I would never know. You know? So I'm not going to assume anything. It could be more than one person watching.
Clear down low.
And there's...
Careful,
Is
still there.
that Ty Dillon? Yep, Ty Dillon. And then there's Joey Logano. Told you, I'm going to come back from being dropped down into almost last place and gain my spots
Still
back.
there.
Told you, I'm good at this game. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I say that, and then what do? Go into the grass. If that wasn't a yellow trigger, I don't know what would be. You know what?
Outside.
Suck it. Suck it, Ty Dillon.
Bottom's clear.
That ought to cause a yellow.
Hold your line. That one's
Yeah! Woohoo! That's what I needed, a yellow where I can get on in or outside in second place and beat down, Joey Logano's bitch. Yes.
Be ready here.
Motherfucker.
Got a combo now.
Also, if you look at the crowd in this game, no joke. Oh, damn it, Joey! You son of a bitch. That's alright, I'm still in first. But if you look at the crowd, they literally look like cardboard cutouts.
Coming to the green, driver. Be ready here.
Modern day number 3 car driven by Austin Dillon. Formerly, that car right there, the one that Austin Dillon's driving, the number 3, that is the modern era one. The OG was originally driven. Also, I'm gonna adjust my quality on my phone because holy shit, is it bad. I've never actually risked streaming past 720p as a precaution because I don't know if my Wi-Fi can handle it. But it probably could, because compared to my old Wi-Fi I've had over the years, this thing's so much smoother. But what I was gonna say is, oh, excuse me, the original 3 driver all along card was driven by Dale Sr., rest in peace, died in 01, going into turn 3 of the race on the last lap to help his son. He literally risked his car getting wrecked to help his son. You know, he put his life on the line to help his son get his first race of his career in 2001. First career race win, I mean. But, yeah, so that happened, and then down the line, even though, you know, Dale's wife was a bit of a bitch sometimes, didn't like Busch or anything, you know, having the Busch sponsor on it and everything, or Budweiser or whatever it was at the time. For when you had the 88 car or 8 car or whatever, you know, they didn't like that, so they told him to get rid of it, kind of thing. Or it might have even been Dale Sr.'s wife. I can't remember. All I know is it was somebody in the Earnhardt family just didn't like it. So, what ends up happening is Dale Jr. ends up taking the 8 car and then brings out the 88 car, which is now driven by Alex Bowman in the Chase Series. And at one point during Dale Jr.'s career, while he was still driving in the Chase Series, when it was the Monster Energy Series, he was offered by the head person of NASCAR to, as a tribute, at least for a season if he wanted, take his dad's old number 3 car, you know, the number 3 from his dad's car from back in the day, and use a modernized version of it and take it out of retirement. And this was before Dale Jr. switched to the 88 car. And he says, and I quote, "Out of respect for my father, I do not want to, you know," he said, out of respect for his father, he did not want to take it out of retirement. He wanted to let it stay retired to show respect. He said if the times were different and he wasn't trying to show respect, his dad was maybe alive, instead of having passed away, you know, trying to help him win a race, and things were a little different, maybe he would have considered bringing the 3 car out of retirement and letting, you know, driving it for a season to show respect, pay homage to his dad. But given his dad's death, he doesn't think that it was right, and so he says, out of respect, I would rather it stay retired. The version that, you know, they were going to have him drive was based on the original car that his dad drove, like, as in it was original scheme, sponsors, everything. They were going to find a way to get them to work out with him, with like the modernized sponsors thrown on as well. And he said, out of respect for my father, I do not want to drive it. I would rather it stay in retirement. I will move into the new car that I'm going to take over in the new company I'm going to be signing with, you know, for that season. And they said, okay, we completely respect your decision. That was your call. We figured we ask you out of, you know, courtesy, so we don't put you into a situation that feels uncomfortable. And honestly, in my opinion, it worked out for the better, because Dale Jr. was able to make the 88 car and that 8 car prior his own, and basically show so much care for his teams he drove for. I mean, at one point when he was in the 88 car, he was driving with my boy Jeff Gordon, who had, at the time, he had switched, I think he switched from DuPont to Pepsi. In like 2012, he was switching over to Pepsi at that point, but he had the DuPont sponsorship as his main one still at the time. And it was him, Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's car at the time, not the Ally car, the Lowe's car, the car I remember best. What did he have? He had the 88, he had Lowe's, I want to say it was the Apex or Monster brand, something like that. It was like some weird, it might have even been an Interstate or Mountain Dew brand, but I know it was the 88 car, which was Dale Jr. driving it. You had Jeff Gordon in the DuPont 24, soon to be Pepsi 24 car, Jimmy Johnson in the then Lowe's 48 car, and I believe Kyle Busch in the then, you know, back then, in the 18 car before he went on to join his own. Let me crack my fingers real quick because they're getting stiff. But he went on to do his own team and everything then. And things have changed since then. I mean, I want to say, I don't even know who's actually associated with who anymore for teams. I mean, I know for a fact the 24 car, which is William Byron's car, which was originally Chase Elliott's car, and Jimmy Johnson in the Ally car, they are both still associated with each other. They're still in a team. At least until Jimmy Johnson retires and somebody takes over the 48 car. But who knows when that'll be, if that'll ever happen. If it does, respect to Jimmy Johnson, because he brought that team, that group of people, even though it was for his own individual team within that team, 5 championships alone to put in his trophy case. So there's that. I'm gonna grab a drink of my Gatorade, not sponsored. And I'm gonna actually even try and figure out how to contact the company, but I'm gonna ask MetaMats, from the makers that do like the Yu-Gi-Oh playmats and stuff. I'm gonna find out what it takes to become a sponsor of them, and ask them if they'd be willing to take somebody with only around 400 or so subs under their wing and get me a sponsor. Because then that way, if I want to do Yu-Gi-Oh or Dragon Ball Z or Magic or something, you know, that they sponsor, I can promote them, and I can maybe even get my own mat, and then you guys could buy the MetaMat thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but I think it's finished already. If, for anybody that buys the Video Game Dust Sleeves, go over to Video Game Dust Sleeves shop. I believe there should be a DOA Hitman one with my new logo that you guys will see over on my Twitter, twitter.com/DOA Hitman. You can find me at that handle. It'll have that on the front, and it'll have some slight customization with like a St. Louis Cardinals theme to it. It'll have like a Cardinals logo. It's gonna have that nice, super awesome orange and red coloration, the Hitman symbol. It'll say DOA Hitman, and you'll see something else. Like, it's way more finalized than what that image was at the time. So hopefully you guys can go check that out, get that. And if you go to MetaMat, use, I believe the code is, I'm gonna double check it, but I believe the code is Yugi Jesus for Yugi No Nose thing for the time being. And get yourself 15% off towards playmats, sleeves, for cards, dice, anything MetaMat sells you can get. And to be honest, there's some really cool mats over there that you could just use as like a wall poster if you really wanted, if you put in a frame and stuff. I mean, they've got, let's see, what do they got that I know of? They've got like, they've had some really cool like Blue Eyes themed ones, some really cool Dark Magician Girl ones, Dark Magician ones. They have all sorts of things. I don't know what it would take to get a sponsor from them, but I'm gonna find out in a little bit. I will actually check that through my phone as soon as I am done with this race, because I've only got about 9 laps to go. And I'm about almost 15 seconds ahead of 5th, so I should be clear. Oh, look at that, Ryan Newman popped up into the top 5 now. Okay. I see you, my boy. I see you, Ryan. I'll see you, Ryan Newman. Also, what's crazy is actually some of my favorite drivers over the years have actually retired way too quick, and it catches me off guard because I never see it coming. We've had Jeff Gordon in 2015. Not long after that, in 2016 or 2017, was Tony Stewart, who was the original 20 car driver, the Home Depot car back in the day. We've had Danica Patrick retire too soon. She was the GoDaddy car, the number 10 GoDaddy car. She ended up retiring a lot sooner than expected for Lord knows what reasons. It's on her own decision, I guess. I mean, you've had Dale Jr. There's going to be Jimmy Johnson soon. Honestly, the day Kyle Busch retires might be the day I'm done with NASCAR. Like, watching it and following it. I might still play the games, try and keep up with it every now and again. But it'll be the day I'm literally done. Like, I'm just, like, losing interest in it. I mean, like, literally the day I found out the days I found out that Eddie Guerrero passed and the infamous Benoit incident that's going to go down in history forever happened, was the day I started losing my love for wrestling, until I learned of people like Jeff Hardy, and I discovered Jeff Hardy. And I mean, I had gotten into wrestling because of Cena, but then Cena was kind of I started losing, I started hating on him and disliking him as much as I used to. You know, I didn't like him as much. I even actually started becoming a Miz fan. Like, I used to despise The Miz and love Cena. You can tell how much of a world I've been living in if I'm switching to liking The Miz and hating Cena. And I've actually liked some of Miz's heel strats that he's done over the years recently. Like his recent one he did with Daniel Bryan before this pandemic hit, like maybe 2 years ago. He had a feud with Daniel Bryan, he was a heel. It was probably one of the best heel bookings they've ever done in WWE in decades. I mean, the last good heel booking that WWE has done, in my opinion, freaking, what was that, fucking Stone Cold. Just because of the music in 2001, holy shit. Not the Invasion 2001 theme, his OG 01 theme for Austin that you can only hear in WWE, for like the current WWE games. The only game you can hear it in, unless you put it in manually in like one of those games that lets you customize the music, the only game you're going to hear it in is WWE 2K16 right now. Unless they pay to get the license to do it for them. You know what I mean? So, and that song by Disturbed, which was Glass Shatters, legendary. That's how I became a Disturbed fan. That's how I discovered their music. I mean, I've learned about songs like Down with the Sickness, Sound of Silence. I know there's another one. It's like something Hell. There's like Hell in the name, I believe. And then you had Glass Shatters, of course, and you know. So I became a Disturbed fan a little bit, liking those kinds of songs. Alright, bear with me here. I'm just trying to close out the shit so I don't give a shit about. Oh, excuse moi. I actually just had one of those like 99-cent to $1 range pizzas you can get at like a Walmart, and I threw on it. It was a pepperoni one. I threw on Italian seasoning and barbecue chips, and man, was that shit good. It may sound a little weird, but if you do it right, oh, yum, 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 yum. Especially if you eat it enough to where you can actually roll it up and pick it up, like a burrito, and have a pizzarito type deal, you will not regret the tastes. The combination is so surreal, it's so good. I'm almost tempted to try and get up to the rest of the pack before we hit the final lap, and just trigger a yellow right as the final flag, the white flag is raised, and then that way I get like a automatic victory in first place, as long as I stay ahead of the pack by that point. I don't lose a bunch of positions and screw myself up and have the 10th place finish thing that happened like it did last stream yesterday. Can I catch up to those spots that are 40th through 38 and up? Probably not. If I don't catch them before the white flag, I'm not going to be able to trigger the cheese I'm going to try and do. But I can see 40th with just Chase Elliott, I believe, unfortunately, who has 9 laps down last time I looked. Oh, somebody triggered a yellow at the last second, which might have saved me because now I only have to go. Oh, we got NASCAR overtime. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Now I gotta get 2 laps to win instead of the 1 extra lap in the thing. So I'm gonna try and pull away as much as possible by trying to throw the hammer down and try and move in a way that the other driver can't keep up, if you will. And that is Corey LaJoie there behind me. So I gotta keep that in mind. I seriously wonder if there's a way you can remove the delay entirely for people between YouTube and what you're seeing on your screens. And that way, like, say I'm doing something and I'm trying to chat with you guys, I don't have like a weird video delay, so I'm like, oh, did you see that move? Like, I can't even stream a Fire Pro thing without being confused because I'm literally going to be like seconds ahead of y'all. You know? I can be like 10, 20, 30 seconds ahead of y'all, or, you know, 5, 10 seconds ahead of y'all and not even know. Because that's how the streaming setup is. Why? Well, I guess I'm the only one watching my own stream. That's fine by me. 'cause I'm a man who doesn't give a fuck. He'll watch whatever he can when he can. Does what he wants. Does what he wants. Does what he wants. How far ahead am I? Yeah, I'm just gonna try and like slow it down, just try and lightly gas it. Like I'm running out of fuel. Just for troll's sake.
Great job, driver. Checker flag in the air. It's yours.
Woo! Now, if only they would actually hand us the checker flag like they do in real life. Like I've seen in some NASCAR games. Alright, let's try and get a small little victory lap before I, before I actually fully burn out. The trick to getting a victory lap, you gotta stay within like one gear and barely go above 50. Because then you get to do a victory lap for the crowd. You can see there's the crowd there. That's what the crowd looks like in the game. Some of the stupidest shit you'll ever see. I think as long as you don't stay above 55 miles an hour, you should be able to get a victory lap going. And then once I'm done with the victory lap, I'm gonna burn that shit out. I say that and then what do? I end up burning myself out anyway, trying to do it. I was supposed to say, don't tell me I got stuck in a way where I couldn't get back on the track. I got clipped into the track. Oh, what the f- I've never seen that. Oh, when you guys see that, that'll be hilarious. Don't even ask me how it happened twice now. It's like this game just does not want me back on the track. Can I get back on the track? Yeah, buddy. And then I wrecked the front end. Jiznits. And now I can't get back up there. What the hell? I had to lightly do it just to get up there, and then I had to lightly press the gas to keep moving. Because I somehow seem to be clipping into the ground. Don't know how, don't know why, but you know what? We're just going to do the remainder of the victory lap on the grass. And then we'll burn out in the grass to end it before we move on to the next race. If this was a regular video, I'd be actually cutting this stuff out so you guys didn't have to sit through me doing this till I actually got to that point. Now I'm driving in reverse, going at around 44 miles an hour. Shoom, 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 shoom. You can't really exceed like 50 miles an hour to 55 miles an hour when doing this, otherwise you fall off the track because you burn out. Which is not what I want to be doing when I want to do a victory lap. Somehow I'm now in the upper 70s, low 80s, and I'm not, you know. I'm almost into the hundreds and I'm not burning out. Whatever I'm doing seems to be working because I'm at 100 miles an hour plus and I have yet to spin out. Now I can really just go at it. Just don't end up in the pits, because if I end up in the pits, it ends my burnout. What did I just tell you? If I end up in the pits in the wrong way, I'm gonna end up ruining my burnout. Now let's just cross that finish line real quick. If I can get him to cross it, and then I'll burn out once I register. Once I register, I've passed it. That means the victory lap is done now. Time to burn out. Woohoo! We earned this one, William. Donut City, it's a beautiful city, that Donut City. Now all I'm gonna do is just hold the gas button. I'm not even holding the joystick anymore. Also, mind me not while I check my Twitter to see if I can figure out something. Come on, phone, don't rotate randomly, piece of shite. Oh, it forced me to end my burnout. I didn't get to actually go into the pits manually. Whatever. Add to the race. Actually, it's 10% off. I just checked Twitter. It's 10% off MetaMax.com if you use the discount code YukiJesus at checkout. So, and that is clearly, I don't think that's William Byron whatsoever. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be my custom character, and they just do an awful job. Because if that's supposed to be William Byron, that is the worst. Because I've even seen Jeff Gordon looking trashy like that, man. Oof. They do not do some drivers justice, I'll tell you what. Also, I like how I meant to open up Facebook, and somehow I opened up Discord. Trying to locate my Facebook app. Oh, fuck off, I swear, if it starts to die, I'm just gonna end the stream. Because it just now decided it's gonna go boop boop kind of thing. Alright, let's lower that length, because that is too much. I'm gonna drop it down to, no, we'll put it at the suggested thing that the game puts it at by default. And we're gonna start the next one. Oh, I'm gonna have to end it here, y'all.